G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for a quick channel update video. Just a quick note that tonight's video has been delayed due to, you know what, doesn't matter. Let's just call it real life issues. My apologies to both of you that are still interested in the Templar series. Okay, so first up, there's a poll on the channel currently with the Templar hitting 100 and now basically being relegated to gear farming. I'm looking at what to do next. So there's a poll as to what you guys would like to see for the next character. These builds in the poll are all builds that I'm actually looking forward to playing, and I'll probably do all of them at some point, but I figured you guys might have a preference one way or the other, so let's see if there is a strong preference, and if there is a build on that list that you would prefer, please go click on one of the options and let me know. As for what's coming in content form, the Death Knight series will continue every other day until it's done. There may be the odd day or two without a video in the next week or so, just due to the real life issues I was talking about at the top. I'm not expecting any issues with completing the Death Knight series with ease. When I did it last time, I was a Grim Dawn newbie, having never even set foot into Ultimate before, and I was following a guide, in air quotes, that was several years, I won't say out of date, but it was several years old at the time. It worked, but it's nothing like the absolute monster that I've made this time. This is considerably easier, and I know I have had a little bit of luck with drops, but yeah, it's going really well. The Templar videos will continue until it either dies or has farmed the Vanquisher set. I don't think I'm going to put in the weeks of farming required to get every perfect item for this one, but I do want to see how it goes with the Vanquisher set, so I'm going to finish at least that much. At present, I think the build is kind of mid, and I don't know what all the fuss is about, honestly. It was very heavily recommended, and like, it's not bad, but I'm not the biggest fan of the back and forth running around playstyle. But yeah, it's not bad, it works, but it's not really my thing. Anyway, that series will continue, as the idea for the build was to get me to stop farming totems, which it has done, and continues to do. Shazul has over 100% fire resistances, and Gargabol hits like a truck, so those fights are going to be fun. Expect a new video every 2 days, maybe every 4 days, depending on how generous the chests are with the Vanquisher set piece. The Spellbreaker that you see on the screen here is still farming for gear, and I kind of feel like I've left it behind, so I'm going to make a point of doing some play with that as well. The enthusiasm to play it and go farm totems or dungeon bosses again is kind of lacking at the moment, but I think I need to force myself to do it. I've got about half the items, maybe slightly more than half, for 2 different builds I was looking at, and then I probably got most of the non-set pieces for like a Corber's build if I wanted to do a melee build as well. But once I've got the gear for either of the first 2 builds, or I give up and just do the Corber thing, I'll make a conclusion video for that series as well. As for what's coming next, since the Templar is winding down, the next character is going to be done on the 1.2 test patch. So I wanted to play the 1.2 patch earlier, but there was far too many bugs and crashes. It just made for awful videos where I would get 5 to 10 minutes of footage, and then the screen would go black and I would have to cut and edit it because the game crashed again. Or like with this Spellbreaker series, where I tried to do it halfway through, all of the procs were just active all the time, and it basically became immortal because I had the tortoise all the time. Every 8 seconds it would get refreshed. It does look like most of the bugs have been fixed, so the next character is going to be done on 1.2, and I guess we'll see how bad Sunder actually is or isn't. There's been a lot of changes to it, so that will be very interesting. As for the characters I've picked on the poll, I've got 5 characters that are relatively diverse. The first one is a Dual Pistols Purifier, so Demolitionist and Inquisitor are the 2 masteries I haven't featured on the channel. And Pistols is one of the major build types, both not shown on the channel and also kind of heavily requested. So let's combine all of that into the classic Pistol Purifier. This one will be either fire or lightning pistols while leveling, and from the research I've done, it looks like lightning is the way to go while leveling, but there's still going to be a decent chunk of fire in there, so you can expect a very pretty light show. It may be a little squishy though, but we'll see. Next up was an Aether Spellbinder. This one would almost certainly be a variety build, starting with Skeletons, swapping to Albrecht's Aether Ray, and maybe changing to Panetti's Replicating Bullet Hell towards the end of normal. I may just stay on Albrecht's Aether Ray though. We'll see what happens. This one has not been popular in the past. At some point I'm just going to say I'm doing it, deal with it, but for this one, we'll see. Third option was a Chaos Warlock. So we're talking Chaos Converted Sigils and Doombolt, and Albrecht's Chaos Ray. Between Maven Sphere and Possession should be fairly tanky as well. Uses a lot of the Witch Cult MIs, which will actually force me to do Forgotten Gods while doing the campaign, which I normally skip, so that's one advantage there. The fourth option was a Pet Conjurer. I've done a Pet Ritualist on the channel, and I made a Pet Kabbalist in the background because it was basically the same as the Pet Ritualist through the campaign. So it seemed fitting to round out the three major pet builds. I've had real issues with pet conjurers in the past, and following the most popular guide was both incredibly dull and slow, and also ended up costing me 5 characters. Now, whether that was because I was bad at the game then, or maybe it's just a playstyle that doesn't kind of mesh with how I like to play, whatever the reason is, it did cost me 5 conjurers so far, so anyway. I'm gonna kind of do it my own way this time with elemental conversion and just packing in as much damage as I can. The defensive setup suggested in a lot of other guides is kind of pants as far as I'm concerned. Tree and Ishtak seem like a bit of a trap, so I'm just not going to do it. But I don't know, pets is not hugely popular with a lot of people, so we'll see how people feel about it. And the last option was a Vitality Caster. Now, I know Vitality Casters are considered a bit of a newbie build. I've just got an itch to make one for some reason. Probably all those Vitality proc items I keep running into. I know everyone recommends Vitality Casters as good options for your first hardcore character, but I'm actually not sure if I would anymore. I think it might be a bit of a noob trap, and I don't know, maybe it's time to find out. Anyway, those are the options in the poll for the next character, and kind of a rough outline on what's happening. So thank you all very much for watching and voting in the poll, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.